Who's ready for a $5,826 Social Security benefit cut? Asked the folks at Fox Business News. Big changes to Social Security may be only 15 years away. Now, a couple things. This is hugely clickbait and it's very effective. One of the reasons it's very effective because they're using the terminology Social Security benefit cut, which gets lots of clicks, but they're going even more than that. A very specific number, 5,826, not 5,825, or actually not 5,800, 5,826. Not 5,000, 5,800, 5,826. Pretty interesting. Worked on me. So let's read it because I'll say, okay, oh, Molly Fool. Oh boy. For most Americans, we got a guy who had written this. Nope. For most Americans, relying on Social Security during retirement is the explanation or expectation. Surveys conducted by the national pollster Gallup earlier this year found that 88% of future retirees expect to lean on Social Security income to some degree. For non-retirees, this represents an all-time high, dating back through 2 decades of surveys. Who would not expect to lean on Social Security for some degree? That's weird. It's an equally important source of income for current retirees, with Social Security data showing that better than 3 in 5 seniors relies on their monthly stipend to account for at least half their income. I've done videos on that as too. That's not right. Basically, Social Security data showing that 60% of people rely on Social Security for half their month income. That's fake news, man. Fake news. Motley Fool doesn't follow the stuff in the Social Security Administration. I've documented here. I'll do another video on that, how that's fake, but that won't get nearly the same clicks as will. Just look into it. Look if you want to, because you might just see this one video by me not following anymore. The 60% of people who rely on Social Security for half their income is completely fabricated. It's completely fabricated. Remember that, please. If you doubt me, by all means do the research. You can look through I've done over 3,000 videos. You can look at one of my many videos where I talk about Social Security. I imagine be a tough one to find. But at the end of the day, do your own research and you'll see that I'm right. In other words, if it's an indispensable program that's single-handedly responsible for keeping more than 22 million people a year out of poverty. Such fake news. It ticks me off. Motley Fool, just freaking elementary stuff. Rookie stuff. Could you survive a 5,800 annual reduction to your benefit? What happened to 5,826? Every year, the Social Security Board of Trustees releases a report that examines the program's short-term and long-term goal. Outlook. For the past 35 years, the trustees' report has cautioned that the long-term revenue collection would be insufficient to cover outlays. Or in English, Social Security won't bring enough coming in to cover the amount that's going out, and the asset reserves will be exhausted by 2035. The good news, if there's any to be plucked from the forecast, is that the Social Security is in no danger of going bankrupt or becoming insolvent. Well, I'm glad they're sharing that with us because a lot of people say, I'm not expecting to get any Social Security. 2 of 3 of Social Security's 3 sources of revenue. Whoa, that was weird. Two of Social Security's 3 sources of revenue, the 12.4% payroll tax and the taxation of benefits. Why does that keep doing that? All right. Oh, I got this. Okay. 2 of the 3 sources of revenue are recurring, which means that as long as Americans keep working, money will always be flowing into the program for disbursement to eligible recipients. However, once Social Security asset reserves are depleted, sweeping benefit cuts may be needed to sustain payouts. Based on the latest trustees report, up to 24% benefit cut by 2035. What would this actually look like for the retired worker? For context, the average retired worker was receiving approximately $1,500 a month in Social Security. I hate that one too. You're only getting $1,500 a month. You know what they do? They take the number of recipients divided by how much they pay out. That gives them $1,500 a month. It has no indication of age, of your work history, of whether or not you have a pension, you're suffering from, and I hate to say suffering, windfall elimination provision, GPO. It takes nothing. Or if you took early, by the way, if you took early, you're going to get lower. It has no, this stuff is so infantile. It drives me up the wall. Assuming cost, I mean, so think about it. If your benefit is, I don't have my calculator. I got to get my calculator from down the basement. If your benefit was $2,500 a month, or we'll say $2,000 a month, and you took it at 62, which most people do, or at least before full retirement age, you're going to have it reduced by 30%. So you'll take $1,700 a month. So the average retired worker was receiving approximately $1,500 a month. Well, that's on them, a good amount, because they took it early. So the typical retired worker would net $2,022 a month if they with a 2% cost of living adjustment by 2035. If benefits or cuts are enacted, they would lose $485 a month in income, or $5,826 over the course of the year. Here's why Social Security finds itself in big trouble. Let's see, for more than the answer, a number of ongoing demographic changes. Aside from the most obvious changes, such as baby boomers leaving the workforce and longevity increasing, growing income inequality is one to blame? No, boy. The wealthy often have little or no financial constraints when it comes to paying for preventative care, medical care, or prescription medicines. I've yet to hear that income inequality is negative on Social Security. That's weird. Let's see what they say here. The same cannot be said for low-income folks. Disparity allows the rich to live notably longer and thereby collect a bigger monthly check for a longer period of time. Over multiple decades, this has weighed on the Social Security program. What's wrong with that argument? I'll let you. Oh my goodness. The wealthy often have little or no financial constraints when it comes to paying for preventive care, medical care, prescription medicines. Same cannot be said for low-income folks. Disparity allows the rich to live notably longer and thereby collect a bigger monthly check for a longer period of time. There is a cap, my friends, on the Social Security benefit. If you have the max earnings, I don't care who you are. Bill Gates, if max earnings is $3,086, I think, this year. That's it. That's the max you can get from Social Security at your full retirement age. That's basically what, $37,000 a year. That's it. So you're saying that cap right there is what's causing Social Security to go kaput? No, it's not. The simple facts are we have more people going into the system and less people working because of demographics. It's that simple. Some blame over multiple. Some blame can be also assigned a record low birth rate. There you go. You think? The Social Security program counts on a steady number of babies being born so that the worker to beneficiary ratio won't fall when future generations of workers retire. But the millennials waiting longer to get married and have children, the worker to beneficiary ratio could be under pressure. Even immigration is a problem, but probably not the way you're thinking. Social Security relies on a steady levels of net immigration to the U.S. Most migrants tend to be young and therefore spend decades in the labor force contributing via the payroll tax. Over the past 20 years, net legal immigration levels have been halved, which threatens the worker to beneficiary ratio. And just to be clear, illegal immigration isn't to blame. Social Security didn't steal a dime from Congress did not steal a dime from Social Security. All right. Whatever. Okay. It's the same stuff. Demographics shift. We know that. We know that has nothing to do with rich people. They're using the average 3 and 5 seniors rely on their monthly stipend from Social Security for half their income. It's fake. The Social Security is not responsible for keeping 22 million people out of poverty. It's fake. What else do we not know? In 2035, if something isn't changed, there will be a benefit cut. It's not going to happen. Payroll tax, and I want them to get rid of the taxation of benefits. Payroll tax will still be there, so bump up the payroll tax, get rid of the taxation of benefits. Done. What else do we want to talk about? Growing income equality does not hurt Social Security. That's just silly. All right. Anyway, at this stage, you can worry. If you're not using Social Security and you're planning, I think you're making a horrific mistake. I'd love to hear your comments. Thanks now.